And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to entertain, educate, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone, save our Consumer Advocate hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894. Don't forget our number. We want you to bookmark our website as well, consumerqb.com. That's our website, blog site, a plethora of information available for you at consumerqb.com. You can click on our expert contributors tab and see one of our 80-plus show partners, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida that we've assembled, we've vetted, and we bring them on the air to help you win in any marketplace. No matter what you're facing, we're Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's number one consumer advocate and helping folks of all types. We're helping with credit. We're helping with tax planning. So many different areas that we want to help you. Of course, kicking off a new year here. Welcome to 2017. Time to set those goals. Time to reach and really push forward. And I want to thank our sponsors here, Kipton, the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. It's the first new boutique-style hotel built on the beach in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. Whitewashed Mediterranean palace, expansive luxury suites overlooking the Intracoastal Waterway on St. Pete. It's a great hotel partner. And rooftop yoga, awesome restaurant there. The Castile restaurant has awesome food. And a big shout out to our new hotel partner, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. That's Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback Show sent you, and you get a free special discount, rather. And let's go around the horn now, make our introductions back in studio. Mark Spence, VP, Integrity Financial Services. Welcome to 2017.
Thank you for having me, Brandon. I'm very excited to be back. It's a new year. It's a new time in the mortgage industry. We're going to see what happens this year. It's going to be very exciting. Could be real volatile, so we'll have to see what happens.
That's right. That's right. We'll keep them up to date. We'll let them know what's happening and give you those consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid. Also back in studio, attorney Shawn Yesner, Yesner Law Firm. Welcome back.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks for having me again. And like Mark said, new year, new possibilities, new laws coming down the pipe. So really excited to get into 2017.
That's right. And also on the phones, we've got William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician. We're going to go to him in just one moment. I want to let you know about a couple of hot listings from our premier sponsor, Platinum MVP Realty, 10764 Breaking Rocks Drive in Tampa. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath property. There's a community pool, and it's a beautiful property here, conservation home site. So in the back, you've got beautiful conservation to look at, wooded area, and a pond. And it's a great listing price at $294,000. And it's 10764 Breaking Rocks Drive in Tampa. Of course, you can see all of our real estate listings from consumerqb.com, as well as watch the live stream. We've got an awesome partner as well, WeBeam TV, so you can watch our live stream there and check out all of our shows with the TV version as well. And we also have a beautiful lakefront Carrollwood property here at 15102 Lake Magdalene Boulevard in Griffin Subdivision. 5 bedrooms, 3-bath property. And you got a balcony view that overlooks the waterfront home. And it's a pool and spa as well as a ski lake. And it's a beautiful property at $550,000. We just reduced this down to $550,000. 15102 Lake Magdalene Boulevard and beautiful Tampa Bay. All right, big shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service as well. They are referred for a reason. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. All right, let's go to the phones now. We asked William Crowley, the Credit Magician, to call in, give us some updates, things happening out there in the marketplace. Hey, William, you there, buddy?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. I bumped into our friend Larry out in the parking lot at iHeart today. He said to tell you hello.
Oh, great. Okay.
Great guy.
Listen, okay. I heard you going around the horn there, and Mark had mentioned the mortgage. I guess the mortgage or the real estate market may look volatile. Or did I misunderstand him?
Yeah, that's right. He's saying things are going to be volatile. Yep.
Right. Well, I agree, but I try to tell consumers all the time, just look at the market in that way, okay? Whether it's good or bad, always look at it in that way to protect yourself. Be proactive. Use the laws that are out there to benefit you so that when you go to people like Mark to purchase these properties, you'll be prepared. Instead of turning Mark to a credit repair expert like myself, let me do that ahead of time.
That's right.
So what I do is I help people to understand the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, aspects of the Uniform Commercial Code, so that you can be proactive. In other words, I guess that's the key word here is proactive. You could do things like to prepare yourself for the market and put a promotional block on your credit report. Always pull your credit reports ahead of time, constantly monitoring them. And there are also free monitoring services on the Internet. You don't necessarily have to pay for them all the time. And just because they're free doesn't mean that they're inadequate. They are just as sufficient and adequate as the ones that are charging you. These people are just there to assist you in being proactive and looking at your credit report. If you see dings on there ahead of time, then address them. And I tell people just because it belongs to you doesn't mean that the credit reporting agency can legally put that information on your credit report. Challenge it using the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It can take it off your credit report and get you back on track to purchase these properties at a reasonable and competitive interest rate. I could go on and on. How much time do I got, buddy?
Yeah, no, you got a couple more minutes here, and I think
okay.
I love what you're saying there. The thing we want to do is we want to have the listeners engage us. So
right.
What would be a good call to action for them right now?
Well, the main thing is for the promotional block on the credit report and to go ahead and pull those credit reports. The promotional block is going to stop the credit reporting agencies, and I like to say that the credit reporting agencies are the biggest perpetrators of identity theft. They're releasing your information without scrutinizing any of the people that they're sending this information to. So you could get off of that list immediately. And as soon as 1, 2, 3, you call the number, and they immediately take you off that list so the credit reporting agencies can't market your information and allow you to become susceptible to identity theft and other type of atrocity that could happen to your credit report.
That's right.
Should I get that number off? Can I get that number out now, or is that going to be part of my package?
Let's have them text in for the credit package. I think that's
okay.
The easiest way.
Okay, that'd be great. And then you'll also receive information on how to use the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the Uniform Commercial Code. All these are consumer laws, and they can help you to prevent a lot of this negative information from appearing on your credit report. Just because you have negative information, I guess you could say that you defaulted on debt in the past. You're not a bad person. Things do happen. Like Mark said, the market. I say the market is always volatile. Always.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and do this. Credit, it's one of those things we were not taught about credit in school. There's no credit police out there that's going to protect you as a consumer. And so what we want to do is we want to give the first 5 listeners that reach out, we're going to give you this free credit package. Okay, it's going to teach you how to opt out of pre-screening, cut off all that junk mail in your mailbox, how to get that promotional block that William's talking about. We're also going to teach you how to get that free credit report. And here's a hint. It's not those commercials that you see on TV. Those are paid commercials. They're running those commercials. They're going to back end solicit you with your credit card. They're going to hit your credit card. We're going to teach you how to do that for free. We're also going to give you an opportunity to sit down with William Crowley, again, a.k.a. the Credit Magician, and let you, have a conversation. Sit down with him. He can come over to your office or home and, have a conversation, maybe meet you at a Starbucks somewhere. Talk about your credit. Talk about finalizing some plans. We all have these goals for 2017, and we want you reaching out to our mortgage partners as well and getting into the home ownership game. We've got a story we're going to be talking about as well. Tampa Bay home values soared in 2016, but so did the rents. So if you're a renter out there, you're on the fence, you got to look at your credit and figure out, hey, what are my goals? What am I going to do to leave a better legacy for my family? So let's go ahead and reach out now. The first 5 listeners that give us a text message, text the word credit to 813-917-1894. Take action. We're going to give you this free credit package for the first 5 listeners. Text the word credit now to 813 917-1894. Text credit, and we'll hook you up with William Crowley, the credit magician. Hey, William, thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate you.
No problem, buddy.
All right, take care. Have a good day. All right, so that credit package from William Crowley, the credit magician, can help set your 2017 up right, set it up on the right foot, and it's one of our offerings that we have on our daily show here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. on your number one consumer advocate here show in Tampa Bay. Also syndicated on the weekends on 102.5 The Bone on the FM dial and WeBeam TV. So Tampa Bay home values soared in 2016. So did the rents. Got an interesting story from News Channel 8. More from our expert contributors, Mark Spence, Shawn Yesner, here in studio when we come back. Don't touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, the Business Journal, the Tribune, and others, recognized for innovation with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We're looking for inventory right now. Lack of inventory in the marketplace is a great place for a seller to be at. So if you're a seller out there on the fence, thinking about potentially selling your real estate, we'd love to talk to you. Shoot us a text message to our hotline at 813-917-1894. 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Call or text, and we'd love to give you a free comparable market analysis, basically a $500 value, let you know what your property value is. I also want to remind you, check out our books on Amazon. We've got 2 books out now, working on the 3rd. And all these books are on Amazon. It's great consumer advocate content. We'd love for you to check them out. Maybe leave us a positive review would be nice of you. And we're back here in studio, live from iHeartRadio. Beautiful South Tampa, Florida. This segment is brought to you by Michael Vogt with Back and Health Massage, helping people with neck, back, shoulder, hip, and leg pain feel better. Great location right on Del Mabry at Gun Highway there, and he does a great job. Michael Vogt, Back and Health Massage. Check him out on Google. Lots of positive reviews. My massage therapist does a great job. Also, Harrison Martial Arts, teaching me self-defense tactics, strategies, firearm tactics, all kinds of cool stuff. Big shout-out to Joe Harrison over at Harrison Martial Arts. So we're back here in studio. Let's go ahead and talk with Mark Spence for a little bit. Mark Spence, Tony Paredes over at Integrity Financial Services, got a very unique business model in the mortgage industry. Well-respected mortgage professionals here in Tampa Bay with a boutique feel to your office.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what we are. I mean, we're a boutique mortgage company that allows the consumer to really understand what the options they have available. Allows them the opportunity to really see what maybe they are looking to purchase, what type of products are available to them, what type of options they have, not just pigeonholing them into potentially an FHA government loan or at a VA government loan or consumer type of conventional.
What's easier
product.
for the loan officer a lot of times, right?
I mean, it's just at the end of the day, we always want our consumers to understand what options they have so they can make the best educated decision for them and their family.
That's right.
We don't know the outcome of what they're trying to achieve in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Everybody thinks, a 30-year fixed rate mortgage just because the rates are low. But if you want to flip a property and buy an investment property, why do you want a 30-year fixed rate mortgage and pay a higher rate?
Right.
So, again, it's just an example of understanding the consumer, understanding what they want, understanding what their goals are, and then really trying to match them up to the best products that we can get them into.
That's right.
But, I mean, really for us, 2017 is an exciting time because right now it's volatile, but there's a lot of opportunity for consumers to get into the buying home now. Do it now
mindset.
It's just start the process. I mean, William said get their credit evaluated, make sure that they potentially have that worked out. If they don't have the best credit, don't think you can't qualify. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot more investors that are coming into the marketplace to allow consumers to get into first-time home buyer programs. The bond programs are out there again, more prevalent, for people that don't have the money to come in with. So
let's
again,
talk about that.
Yeah,
because of the down payment assistance, the down payment assistance, the bond programs. Because a lot of people out there are thinking, oh man, I don't have 20% down. They think about these old things. It's not
still
the case.
The big misnomer. I mean, someone called me just last week saying, well, I don't think I can do it. I don't have the 20%. I'm like, you don't need 20%. And then people think mortgage insurance is like, just a no-go. I can never take mortgage insurance. There's a lot of products you can do loans without mortgage insurance. You can, there's a lot of advantages to doing loans without mortgage insurance without putting 20% down and taking some of the interest deductions that, the government will give you on a home.
Right.
But again, it's going back to the basics of knowing what options you have and making the best decision so you can figure out what would be best for you.
Yeah. If you just joined us, you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Mark Spence. He's the vice president of a local lender here in Tampa Bay, Integrity Financial Services. We want you to support your local companies in Tampa Bay. Shop local, buy local, finance local. Let's dive deeper into that, Mark, with these down payment assistance programs. Is it typically a municipality that you're going to be talking to, like the city of this or the county?
Or the county, yeah, you're exactly right. For the most part, the city of St. Pete, Tampa, county of, Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, those are the majority of the ones that you see. But, regardless, number one, I think you talk about a mortgage company that you need to work with, but you need to work with a good realtor. You got to, someone that's engaged in the market like yourself, that understands, number one, not just who you're going to do your loan with, who you need to get a mortgage with, but what insurance agent should you be working with, and what type of due diligence do you need to do on the front end to make sure this house is the right type of home for you.
That's right.
There's just a lot more into it that people don't give credit to, and they think, I want to go buy a house now because rates are going up. Well, I mean, it's just not the best way to do it. Start
Turnkey
early.
Solution.
Yeah, start early. Work with one person that can get you with all the parts that you need to get you the best. Number one, so you can have a great transaction.
Yeah.
Because another thing people are very afraid of is, the mortgage. Oh my gosh, I don't want to go through that process.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to tell you it's not an easy process, but if you work with the right people, it's not hard because we educate you, we set the expectations, you understand what you need to do and how to get to the finish line, and we're working with you, hand-holding you through that process to make sure it is a good transaction.
Let me ask you this, Mark. Are you seeing any of the irrational, or not irrational, but the exuberant type loan products out there? I mean, are there 40-year loans again? Are there, some of the subprime type products coming back into the marketplace?
There's definitely lower down payment, higher loan limits. So, for jumbo loans, 10% down loans. Again, that's an interesting thing. Bank statement programs for self-employed borrowers. So if you get people that have had a bankruptcy, a foreclosure in the last few years, you can get a loan with 20% down, portfolio product, and not have, without going into a lot of the rates and things about, with the rate police out there.
Yep.
But your rates are low, so rates are not going to be some exuberant rate.
Right.
And you can get into a fixed rate 5-year type ARM product that can get you something and get you into the house today and start building that equity, and not say, well, I need to wait 4 years or 5 years until, maybe a conventional loan would allow you to purchase a new home again.
That's right.
That's where you need to get with a mortgage company like ourselves, a boutique mortgage company that has a lot of different investors, that allows you the opportunity to see really what all the products are on the marketplace.
Yeah.
Some of the larger institutions are just going to do the basic, plain vanilla, conventional FHA, VA. They're not going to have those portfolios, some of those bank statement programs, some of the things that could get you into that house today.
Right. Yeah. Where else can you take a 3% investment and leverage a $500,000 asset?
Yeah, and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loan limits went up as of January 1 now. So the conventional loan limit for the Tampa Bay area is $424,100.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like a lot. It was $417,000, but that just gave now consumers that much more ability to now have a conventional loan, 30-year fixed rate, without getting into the jumbo market.
Right.
And that again is a sign that the market values are going up. If they're raising conventional loan limits, it's because the market's going up.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen study after study, statistic after statistic, talking about Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Bradenton, Sarasota. This whole marketplace just appreciating. The appreciation, the jobs. Last week we had Mayor Kreisman on the show, St. Petersburg Mayor Kreisman. Week before that we had Clearwater Mayor George Credikas on the show, and everybody's so bullish on the real estate market in Tampa Bay. So if you are a homeowner out there, we want to give you an opportunity to engage us. We're a consumer advocate. That's what makes us so different than a lot of these other shows you hear, and you hear these talking heads regurgitating some opinions about politics or sports. This show is here here designed to change your life. And we want to help you in a positive manner and be a positive force for good in this community. And so what we want to do is, if you're a renter out there, maybe you're on the fence, and I know Mark also may have an offer later in the show as well, but if you're a renter, let's do this for the first 5 listeners. We'll do a rent versus own analysis. So if you're renting and this is resonating with you, or maybe it's your friend, maybe somebody that you know of, go ahead, just pull out your smartphone, shoot us a quick call or a text to our hotline, 813-917-1894. Just text rent versus own, or rent and the amount of rent that you're paying. And what we'll do is we'll put together a rent versus own analysis. It's going to break down the numbers on a spreadsheet, plain and simple English, for you to see. On this side, it's going to say, hey, I'm paying this much in rent. Here's my benefits. On this side, it's going to say, hey, I got a new mortgage at this amount. This would be my rate. And this is the payment. And so it's going to break down the amount of equity that you could be building up, the better legacy that you're going to be building up for your family and the children that you can pass down. So text the word rent to 813-917-1894. Go ahead and text rent and the amount of rent you're paying for a free rent versus own analysis. 813-917-1894. You want to add anything to that, Mark?
Yeah, I would just say I agree with you. You can get off the fence now and start the process and evaluate it, because even though rates are going up, and they are, we're still at historic lows, 60-year historic lows.
That's
so
right.
Take advantage of these long-term rates and get into something and get off the fence and get with a mortgage company that can give you some options so you know what you can qualify for.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk about Tampa Bay home value soared in 2016, but so did the rents. And we're going to talk with attorney Shawn Yesner, YesnerLaw.com, asset protection, self-directed IRAs, real estate investments, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, and we are experiencing a lack of inventory right now. So if you're a seller out there, we'd love to talk to you. If you're a real estate agent, we're looking for just a few agents to add to our team for some of our strategic marketing that we're doing in Tampa Bay. This segment is brought to you by Hula Bay, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Waterfront ambiance, excellent food, wide variety on the menu, fresh seafood, awesome sushi, courteous staff, and Hula Bay is our restaurant partner now, going on a couple of years, and it's right on Tyson Avenue in South Tampa here. If you haven't been there, check it out. They also have on the weekends Duke's Surfer Bar down there is really popping, live music, and a big shout out to Hula Bay, Mike Finnegan and Todd over there. He told me last time I was talking about the show, he said, yeah, make sure you tell them that our sushi is fresh from Hawaii. Every 2 days they get a shipment from Hawaii. So it's awesome, awesome food down there. So all you have to do as well, we got a special discount for you. If you go into Hula Bay, let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. They're going to hook you up with a free water with lemon. All right, that's the running joke around here. So we have some fun with you here, but got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about here in Temple Terrace, Florida, up by USF, former USF football player here on the South Florida Bulls, 11-2 season. Great way to end our season with a big bowl win. And I got Charlie Strong coming in, but I got a property right here by USF. It's 514 Broxburn Avenue in Temple Terrace, 4-bedroom, 2-bath property, $214,000 list price, and it's a great, completely remodeled property, and it's Florida living at its best. Also have a beautiful property out in East Hillsborough County, 7814 Sims Road in Gibsonton, 4-bedroom, 3-bath property, completely remodeled, granite, wood cabinetry, tile flooring, ceramic tile flooring, and also to the left of this property, you have another property that's there as well, another structure that's a commercial property. So you've got $2,000 worth of rental income coming in, and a beautiful property over 4.5 acres here, MOL, at 7814 Sims Road in Gibsonton, $449,000. Great buying opportunity, and beautiful Tampa Bay. It's always sunny and 75.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, back here in studio, let's go to Shawn Yesner, attorney Shawn Yesner, longtime friend of the program, and big real estate attorney here in Tampa Bay, bankruptcy law. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about the real estate side of it, Shawn.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me on. So we're talking about the real estate market recovering, and I think it has, even from my perspective. I dealt with a lot of short sales, a lot of loan modifications, a lot of things like that. And even though I think the real estate market is very localized, so to say it's increasing in St. Pete versus increasing in Brandon, you may be talking about two different types of increases.
Sure.
But I think overall the market is coming back. And so the question that I get a lot of times is, how do I set that up? If I'm going to invest in property, if I'm going to get a rental property, what do I do? And I think probably the most important tip is don't hold that property in your name individually, because then that can open you up for liability in other areas in the event of a divorce, in the event of some kind of accident where you get sued, some kind of judgment creditor, something like that. I would always suggest holding that property either in a land trust, in an LLC, in a corporation. Now, that's where we get to bring Mark back into the equation and talk about, well, if I'm going to do that, how do I borrow to buy that house? And that brings up some of its own issues there. Do I want to buy it individually and then flip it into a land trust, or buy it individually and put it into an LLC? Or can the LLC borrow? What is the corporation, if that's what I want to do? What does the corporation need to do to borrow the money to buy the house? And that's a lot of times where we can bring Mark back into the picture.
Yeah, I mean, when you're purchasing a residential property and wanting a residential loan, you really have to do it in a personal name. So when you get into some of the investors, are looking, all they do is look at the borrower's entity. So if it's a corporation, an LLC, most likely then, and it's a residential property, you're still looking at almost a commercial loan, which is a different animal altogether, as I'm sure Shawn knows. So you have to look at, do you buy it and get into it today, buy it personally, and then potentially look at maybe quit claiming the property back into an LLC for protection? That's what most people I see do. It's just one of those things that you have to look at closely with the mortgage and how it's written.
Yeah, and I know one of the things that most people are afraid of is, if I do that, every mortgage has a what's called a due on sale clause. So what that means is that if I'm going to borrow money from the bank, but I don't own the property anymore, the bank didn't loan the money to whatever person or entity I quit claim the property to. So the bank's going to say, well, that's a violation of the due on sale clause, and I'm going to call the loan due. But here's the trick, is that typically what brings that to the bank's attention is that payments get missed.
Right.
If the bank is receiving payments, they're probably not going to look into that. Now, there's a couple of red flags. One we were talking about earlier, if insurance changes. So I get insurance in my name, and then I move the property into an LLC, and then the homeowner's insurance is in the name of the LLC. That may be a red flag to the bank, where the bank says, well, let's investigate to see if that's a violation of the due on sale clause. Although I've been an attorney now, I graduated law school in 1998, so that makes me an attorney for, 18, almost 19 years now. And I've been doing foreclosure-related and real estate-related law my entire career. And the number of times I've seen a due on sale clause trigger a default where a bank forecloses, zero.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can get creative with real estate. That's what's great about it. It's such a great asset class for investment opportunity that you can get creative with it. And if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with attorney Shawn Yesner, YesnerLaw.com here in Tampa Bay, as well as Mark Spence. He's the VP of Integrity Financial Services. And I just heard also talking with one of my friends over the weekend as well. We were talking about, an investor opportunity. What he did is he went into a situation where there was a 6 or 8 unit property, and he just the gentleman wanted off of the note. He didn't want to deal with it, so he was able to refinance it. The investor refinanced it into an entity that they attached. They just refinanced it right into that entity's name. So he took ownership of the property through a refinance. I mean, there's so many ways you can get creative with real estate. So it's a great asset class. Have you seen stuff like that, Shawn?
Well, yeah, especially in the use of land trusts. So the reason that investors like land trusts so much is that the identity of the beneficiaries, the identity of the people benefiting from that trust, are anonymous. The only person that appears on public record is the trustee. So that gives me a lot of opportunity. If I'm the investor, if I'm the beneficiary, I can transfer beneficial interest to someone else. I can move things around without really being on the public records. That doesn't necessarily have to be disclosed. Now, I still have to do it properly, because if I don't do it properly, it could cause a situation where the tax collector comes in, the property appraiser comes in, the Department of Revenue comes in. And so that may be a situation where we still need to disclose, but it'll still remain anonymous.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at a trust as well. You know, a lot of times you got to make sure you change the way you sign documentation. You can't sign it as the individual, right? You're supposed to put the trust. Yeah,
and there's a law in Florida that says if I quit claim something or deed something, and by the way, let me shoot off on a tangent. It is a quit claim deed. Q-U-I-T.
Not quick.
Not quick. Not Q-U-I-C-K. I can do them quickly. I can draft them quickly. I can probably have about a 1 or 2 hour turnaround time on getting one drafted. But just because I can do it quickly, it is still a quit claim deed.
Well, here's another one too. It's realtor, not a realtor. It's realtor.
Yeah, there's no I in that word. It's not realtor. It's realtor. Yeah. So, but with quit claim deeds, I can do all that, move all that stuff around, make all those changes that I need to make, and it's actually pretty simple.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so it's a great opportunity for you as a consumer, as an investor. You know, there's all this geopolitical stuff going on in the news, you know, this 24/7 nauseating media cycle, these marketers that are constantly telling us to buy this pill or use that drug. I mean, there's so many distractions today, but if you really break it down to what makes sense, you know, when you really look at, most of the wealth advisors out there talking about the stock market, invest in this ETF or this mutual fund, you know, when you really break it down and you look at, okay, what asset class has performed decade after decade, what is an asset class that you can ensure that you know you're protected if fire or flood happens? You know, what's an asset class that you can rent out that people actually have to live in? You know, people don't live in stocks. They don't have those types of scenarios. So, it's a great opportunity for you to engage us. We want you to go to our website, consumerqb.com, submit the form. We would love to talk to you about some of these as well. You can call our hotline always at 813-917-1894.
Welcome to my house.
813-917-1894, and engage us there as well. So multiple options for you, lots of ways that we can help you win. Mark, also, we're going to talk when we come back. I know you do lender credits for some of our veterans out there. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that in the next segment, and we'll hear more from attorney Shawn Yesner as well, YesnerLaw.com. And an interesting story, Tampa Bay home value soared in 2016, but so did the rents. So the rents are rising. We've talked about Harvard studies talking about that, and nationally what's going on with rents rising. So we want to talk to you. We want to get you into the home ownership game here in Tampa Bay and help you win in any marketplace. That's our tagline. That's our goal of our show. So stay with us. We're going to go into our lightning round when we come back, and more from our expert contributors, Mark Spence and Tony Paredes, Integrity Financial Service, as well as Shawn Yesner, YesnerLaw.com. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. This segment is brought to you by Source One Solutions, the official security partner of the Quarterback Show. Big shout out to Robert Hessel and his team, Sean Colpoys, the whole team over there at Source One Solutions. Home automation. They also do businesses as well. They're protecting your assets while you're away. And the complete home audio, the security side of it is Source One Solutions, security partner on the Real Estate Quarterback Show, the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we're back here in studio, and an interesting story that we talked about is Tampa Bay home value soared in 2016, but so did the rents. News Channel 8 reporting here. The total value of Tampa Bay area's housing stock soared 10.3% in 2016, nearly twice as much as the nation as a whole, according to a new online report. The Tampa Bay Times reports that dollar-wise, Bay Area homes collectively exceeded the market value of such giants as Procter & Gamble, Disney, Coca-Cola. And if they all sold tomorrow, they'd bring in more money than the annual revenue of every Fortune 500 company except Walmart. So interesting. On the downside, Tampa Bay housing values still haven't returned to pre-cash levels, and another sign of lingering effects of the foreclosure crisis, a large number of Bay Area residents who lease rather than owning spur a hefty increase in rental rates. So yeah, so Mark, we've talked about that before on the show. You know, the rents are rising. It's part of the process, I guess.
Yeah, it is. And so again, it goes back to that fact that you need to get in. If you're renting and you're paying $1,500, $2,000 a month, you can buy a lot for $2,000 a month. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are paying over that. And, you know, if you can get into a home and still only maybe put down the minimum on an FHA loan or, you know, a 5% down on a conventional product and get into a loan up to $424,000, you can get your payment lower than what you're going to pay on rent on half the price.
That's right.
The size of the home.
Yeah, the typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, around 2,000 square feet. You know, you used to, depending on the area, you know, generalities here, where, you know, you used to be able to rent that for $1,200-$1,500 a month. Now you're looking at 18, 22, 25, and right on up, just depending on where you're at.
Right, and that is unbelievable. So, you know, think about it. If you could buy that property today, buy it as a single family, you know, get into it as a primary residence, hold it for 2 years, maybe then keep that as a rental and buy something else and upgrade, take some equity out of it.
That's right.
You know, and start building that legacy and, you know, and build up a small portfolio of rental, but do it without having to pay capital gains. I mean, there's ways to do it. Use the primary residence.
That's right.
You know, get that interest rate, get the low rate, get the low down payment, and always look at down the road of maybe upgrading into a new property.
That's right.
But you got to start somewhere.
You know, my father was in the military. A lot of my family and you know, so many of our listeners and people in this room here as well have folks that were in the military, and they protect and serve. So let's spend a minute or two here and talk a little bit about the veterans options and VA financing.
Yeah, I mean, VA options, there's no doubt about it that, you know, if you are a veteran and you've never taken advantage of your VA eligibility, you really are missing out.
Yeah.
VA eligibility is the one thing the government did right for our veterans.
That's right.
You know, and with McDill here in our backyard, there's so many people that are here that, you know, want to maybe purchase a property. You know, you can get into a VA loan with zero money down. You can get your anything. It's very flexible. Guideline wise, it's much easier to qualify for a VA loan than any other product. Your interest rate will be the lowest out of any product available. VA has the lowest rate out there.
Wow.
So if you're a veteran and you want to get into a home, start the process, get pre-approved for your VA loan, understand what you have available to you. If you've ever had a disability with the VA of 10% or more, you don't have any VA funding fee. It's waived by the government.
Wow.
And there is no mortgage insurance with VA. That's not required.
Yeah.
So again, it seems sometimes too good to be true, but this one is true.
Yeah.
And you can get into a low 30-year fixed rate mortgage with zero money down. And also even out of the box things where you can have, you know, buy a property, get seller contributions, pay off a debt. Maybe you have a car payment that makes you not qualify. The seller could pay that off. You could put it into your purchase, and that could be paid off, and you could qualify.
Wow.
Can't do that with any other loan product available.
Wow, that's interesting. Let's go ahead and tee up an offer then for our listeners.
For all of our veterans, we always give back. We don't charge any lender fees or anything at our location for our VA loans and our veterans, but we also want to give the first 5 listeners a $1,000 lender credit right back to you at closing. And with the closing costs available, they're already low already with VA, but $1,000 will get you down pretty low. And that would come right back to you at closing on any purchase or refinance. So if you're not in a VA loan and you own a property and you want to get some money out, you can do up to 100% cash out refinance on a VA loan.
That's strong.
With the equity position that people have now, you can get money out up to 100% of what your appraised value is. You can't do that with any other loan product.
$1,000 lender credit from Integrity Financial Services. And what we'll do also, Platinum MVP Realty, if you utilize us on the buying side of the transaction, then what we'll do is we'll rebate between 1/4 or 1/2 point back to your closing costs as well. You know, pay for your appraisal, help you out with some of that as well. So first 5 listeners, shoot us a call or a text at 813-917-1894. Text the word Integrity Financial Services, text mortgage or VA loan to 813-917-1894. And if you're not a texter, you can call, leave a voicemail. If I happen to miss you, we'll get right back to you before my head hits the pillow. That's our promise to you. So, yeah, thanks for doing that offer, Mark. And let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round. All right, let's start over here with Shawn Yesner. Top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid.
Yeah, I would say top things to do, things to avoid is don't be intimidated. If you find yourself still overwhelmed by the Christmas debt, buying all those presents and whatnot, and you got some creditors hounding you, some medical bills hounding you, some student loans hounding you, don't be intimidated by that. I give a free consultation. Call me, call any other attorney. Most of us will do free consultations and figure out what your rights are, figure out how to address those concerns.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Don't put your head in the sand and just throw the letters away. At least open the letters up, read them, and then engage us at consumerqb.com. We've got a turnkey solution here that can help you win. Mark Spence.
I would say if you're looking to purchase a property, start the process early. Get in with your credit person. Get your credit pulled, see if your credit qualifies. Look at your income, see what type of job you have. Make sure it qualifies. Some products require you be on the job a certain amount of time. There's just things that you would not know as a consumer that maybe would seem weird that you wouldn't be able to maybe qualify. So starting a process 30 days to 90 days ahead of time is the longer you can do it, the better.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt your credit. A misnomer all the time is, I don't want me to do a pre-qual now and then in 5 months I'm going to buy a house. Do it now. It's not going to hurt your credit.
Yeah.
And evaluate it. Make sure you know what kind of monthly payment you're going to have, what type of down payment is required, if any, and how much you're going to need to be able to purchase this property.
That's right.
And do it with the right company that's a local community bank that's going to hold your hand through the process, because it is definitely something that I strongly encourage you require. People think, I don't need that, but you will want it, and you want to work with someone that's willing to do it for you.
Sure, absolutely. And reach out to our hotline as well. And my tip of the day, Peyton Manning helping us out there with that audible, is establish what we call goal-oriented thinking. Okay, you've got reactionary thinking and goal-oriented thinking. And here's a great quote from Vince Lombardi. We got to talk about Lombardi here on the Quarterback Show, right? Mental toughness is many things and rather difficult to explain. Its qualities are sacrifice, self-denial. Also, most importantly, it's combined with a perfectly disciplined will that refuses to give in. It's a state of mind. You could call it character in action. How about that? Character in action, right? So, goal-oriented thinking every day. Wake up, write your goals down. What are you going to accomplish today? What are your 5-year goals? What's the big picture idea? And then work backwards from that. And you got to have the discipline to do it. The self-discipline is what's going to help you succeed as a salesperson, help you succeed in no matter what you're doing out there on your daily basis. And, self-discipline in Napoleon Hill's book, it's last line, last chapter. It's the number one success trait of all entrepreneurs, all business owners, is the power of self-discipline. It's the ability to make yourself do what you should do, whether you feel like it or not. So that's what we want to leave you with today on the Quarterback Show. And I want to thank attorney Shawn Yesner, YesnerLaw.com, for coming in, dropping the knowledge about self-directed IRAs, real estate investment, and so many other things. He can help you with bankruptcy, loan modification, short sales as well. And I want to thank Mark Spence, Vice President of Integrity Financial Services. Thanks for helping out our veterans out there with those VA loans and the 100% financing and, of course, all the other products. And we want to remind you to shop local. If you're thinking about a mortgage or you're looking at a mortgage scenario, think about the local economy. Think about the local lenders. Don't go into one of those big banks on the corner, the guys that took the bailout money. Shop local, consumerqb.com. And also, we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up some leftover food that you may have, some leftover groceries, taking it with you in your vehicle, planning ahead, and that way you can hand it to the homeless person that you see on the side of the road. Be a force for good in the community, a random act of kindness, and it's going to go a long ways, and it's going to make you feel better, and that's going to create positive momentum in your life that's going to help you knowing that you've helped others. So we'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.